Can you use technology to create a more human touch? Hi everybody, my name is Greg Crable and this is my podcast, Something I Learned Yesterday, where I take one issue, usually from the world of publishing, and explain it in 3 or 4 minutes. Today's podcast is based on an article in my latest Crable letter, which you can get on my website at crablegroup.com. This is a bit of an expanded version. I saw an ad in an industry newsletter that said, in the age of AI, it's more important than ever for publishers to have direct relationships with their readers. Wasn't that always true? What does AI have to do with that? I'll get to that. But my first reaction to this quote was that it's a lovely thought, and we need to do a little bit more clarification on the words direct and relationship and what they mean in the context of publishing. So here are some possible characteristics of a direct relationship. You communicate with your readers without any intermediary. You control the means of distribution of your content, and you don't rely on third parties or platforms. So for example, through my monthly letter, I communicate directly with my readers. When I write for the Martech site, or when I post one of these videos on YouTube or on LinkedIn, I'm not communicating directly. I'm relying on a platform, another place. And that's not the greatest, in my opinion. The next thing about direct, you address your customers as individuals and personalize their experience. It's easier to personalize on your website, where you can use a CDP or some other technology to make the experience more relevant and specific to that user. Now, this is important. Your customers pay you directly, not through a third party. This is key. It's better to make a dime and get the customer data than it is to make $1 and not get the customer data. Finally, on this question of direct, you're collecting first-party data about your customers so you can get to know them and provide a better experience. Now, what might the word relationship imply in the context of publishing? You strive to build trust and credibility. This is obviously relevant to how you create content, but it also applies to how you collect data. Your interactions with your customers are bi-directional. You speak and you listen with surveys and questionnaires and so on. You communicate on social media, on the phone, and in email. You meet with customers in real life. If you can do that, that's fantastic. You respect your customers' values and opinions and create content that's relevant and useful to them. You respect your customers' relationships with other customers, and you either build a community for them or you take part in the communities that they're already in. You take complaints and concerns seriously. You're consistent and reliable. You create ways for your customers to show the same loyalty towards you. Now, all these things are things that make sense out of a relationship. And does this describe your attitude and your approach to your customers? I encourage you to think about it. All right, now back to that question at the beginning. Why is this particularly relevant in the era of AI? So trust and credibility is certainly part of it. There was a dust-up recently over whether Sports Illustrated was publishing AI-generated stories that they were allegedly presenting as if they were written by a human. I'm not sure how that story panned out, but the point is, people felt betrayed. The bigger issue here might be the role of AI agents, which could replace the role of the publisher. So let's think about the role of the publisher for a minute. The publisher selects the right content in the right style at the right time and place and delivers it in a useful way to the reader. AI is already doing that, like in your daily news feed, for example, and it will continue to expand in that area. Imagine an AI agent that knows what you read, when you read it, and maybe even knows your emotional reaction to the story. There are some situations where like a smartwatch or something can feed biometrics into your phone. It's easy to imagine a future where AI is selecting content for you. Publishers seem to be reacting in 2 different ways, with fear or with curiosity, which is exactly how humans should react to new things. We need to be cautious, but we also need to explore. We need both of those reactions. Some publishers will insist that humans can always do better than AI. I'm not convinced of that. I know too many humans. I am convinced that a human has to be involved in the process and set boundaries. algorithms get too easily caught in a feedback loop that spirals out of control. We just saw that the other day with electronic trading on the stock market. You need a human available to pull the plug when the robot traders are caught in a death spiral. So there needs to be some supervision of AI. You can't just totally cut it loose. Okay, having said all that, what do we do now? What I would recommend is reconsider what I said above about a direct relationship and consider how technology can help you achieve it under your watchful eye. So that's my thought for today. I hope that was helpful. If I can help you with your business in any way, please give me a call. You'll see my contact information on the next page. Thanks so much.